hope there's enough light so you can see that the engine is all apart. I measured the bearing with a telescoping gauge, and it's 2 inches and 80 thousandths. And I measured the cam, it's 2 inches and 77, and the new cam is 2 inches and 77. So I got a 3 thousandths play in the front bearing, and I think that's a little more than I want. So I'm going to replace the front one. I'm going to assume the rest of them are still good, because if it's only 3 thousandths here, and this cam here wasn't worn out at all, then I think the rest of the bearings are still good. I measured this here, the lobe, on the two that are worn out, and they're like 100 thousandths below the ones that are not worn out. So the cam is definitely junk, got to go. And these are the lifters that we're riding on those two lobes. They wore out my lifters, and they wore out my cam. So I got a new cam. This one is a comp cam. It's about a $400 item. I replaced it with a stock cam, which is about 125. It ran fine with a stock cam. I don't know. I just put this in because I had it, and now I take it out because it's no good anymore. So I've got to get some gaskets and a new, probably have to buy a whole set of cam bearings just to get the one on the end. Cam bearings are all different sizes. As you go down the block, they get a little bit smaller. So each one of these will fit through the one ahead of it and fit perfectly in the where it's supposed to go. Same with this. Now, I had trouble getting it out because of the this damn dowel pin. I got the timing chain off. I got well, the hoses, the belts, front pulley, water pump, engine cover. Is that rust? No, just dirty. Fuel pumps over there, the bottom pulley. Oh, this is the bottom harmonic balancer, I guess. And this is the pulley for all the belts and stuff. So I'm kind of at an impasse now. I can't finish putting this together until I get the cam and, the gasket and the bearing. So I'll try Rock Auto, since I've been having a lot of problem getting stuff from Napa. Well, here's my new camshaft for the Mustang. I got the gaskets that I need. There's the old cam with all the worn out lobes on the front. I've got some assembly lube, so I'm going to grease it up good before I put it in. Then I've got this stuff that came with that cam. Apparently I should have used it, or it probably would still be good. So I'm going to take the credit for screwing that up. It's my fault. I'm not going to try to get a refund. This stuff here, cam and lifter lubricant, says here that this is enough to do one cam and set of lifters. It doesn't look like it, but it says to put some on each lobe, and also to put a gob on the bottom of each lifter. Not these are junk. And I put the long bolt in here just to make it easier to install. I want to put it in very gently so as not to bang anything up. Also bought some of this engine break-in oil additive, and it's designed for hot rods, classic cars, and race engines. So I don't know, I guess this isn't really a hot rod, it's a classic car. But it was a hot rod when I had that cam in it. But now it's just going to be a stock 289, not the high performance kind, regardless of what it says on my air filter. So I guess since I don't have a cameraman, I'm going to have to put this together myself. I have this headband mount for my camera, so I can bolt the camera into here and take pictures as I assemble the engine. So I'm gonna shut it off now, hook up my headband, lube up my cam, and then I'll turn it back on when I try to put the cam into the engine. Okay, I don't know if this camera's pointed right, but there's the cam. I got the assembly lube on the bearings. I've got the cam lube on the lobes, and it's time to install the cam. Kind of messy. Now, I know when I okay, my battery just died. That's why the video was so jerky. What I was gonna say is, when I checked the specifications, the idea of this bearing is the same as what I have, so I'm going to assume it's still a good bearing and not change it after all. Now I'm going to put this thing in. Let's see if I can get this. And getting kind of greasy here. Put that screw back in there so I have something to hold on to. Oh, come on, now what? There we go. It's almost there. That wasn't good. I think I got it. Almost, anyway. Where the heck? Oh, yeah. These are pretty nice pliers. They're adjustable. I adjusted it too far. Let me go up one click. So you get all these different positions. Now, if I can get a grip on it. Why doesn't it go the rest of the way? Ah, there it goes. And just like that, the new cam is installed. Let me put this back over here in case I need it again. And degrease my hands. Somewhere over here is a retainer, which I think it goes something like this. Come on now. Why isn't it fitting? It came out of those holes. Why won't it go back in? That ain't right. Oh, I guess I got it upside down. I see an oil hole on there, but I can't get it to there because that is odd as hell. I know this came off of here, and yet it doesn't go. Oh wait, there's another screw hole, but it sure as hell isn't on center, so it must go this way. So I'm pretty sure that's the way it came off. Oh shit. Dropped the bolt down in the oil pan. Let me turn off my camera. See if I can't fish it out without taking off the whole oil pan. Or just replace the screw and leave it there with all the other hardware that fell down in there. Well, my trusty magnet got in there and pulled out that bolt that fell in, so I didn't have to find a new bolt. So I got the timing chain on, got the fuel pump eccentric, or is it concentric? I got that on anyway, so I think next I've got to put this on. I don't know, I guess that's to keep the oil from splashing out on the front seal. If I can get it lined up with the keyway. Maybe I should put a mark on there so I'll know. Ah, there it is. Good. Now I guess it's time to put the timing cover back on, so I gotta, this isn't too bad here. This one pulled up. I'll have to put some gunk on there to seal that. And find some more of that blue rubber gasket maker or whatever it is. Put some of that on. Clean out the old stuff first. So I guess I'll go get my Indian head shellac and my urethane gasket maker. Shellac this gasket into place and put the gunk all through here. I got a new seal also for the front. Seal that came with the gaskets. I'm supposed to replace this one. So I don't know how old this one is, so I probably should replace it. So I'll do that, and I'll get these gaskets in place, and then I'll come back for more video. Well, I got the engine cover on, the water pump, the lower pulley, and the alternator, which is still loose. But I think the screw here is stripped. Can't get it tight, so I gotta find a longer bolt that goes all the way through and put a nut on the back. But otherwise it's coming along pretty good, but I have to call it quits for now because I gotta go in and clean up. I gotta go to a cruise night tonight, and I don't know if I'll take any video of it. It's Bridgeton Car Club, and they don't usually have a big turnout, but you never know, something might happen. And there might be a lot of people there, so I'll take the camera along and maybe I'll squeeze it in with the rest of this video if it's not too much. So the pile of parts on the table is getting smaller. I got the water pump on there now, the fan and the pulleys, the alternators hooked up. I'm not going to put the dipstick in until after I get the intake on. And I put the radiator in. And I know it might seem easier to put the radiator in first so you don't bang it up on the fan, but then you can't get the bolts in the fan, so you got to do that first. And by the way, I probably should have mentioned right at the start, this is not a how to do it article by some expert mechanic. I've never been a mechanic. This is just how some guy who's never been a mechanic does his own work. Yeah, so the cruise night last night didn't amount to nothing, so I'm not putting it on there. There weren't any cars there that weren't in any of my other videos on the car shows and stuff. It was kind of a small turnout. Used to be a lot more when I was president, but I ain't president anymore, god damn it. And let someone else worry about that. So it's wicked hot out here, humid as hell, and I'm soaked through. So I'm gonna go in to sit in front of the AC and maybe come back out later this evening and try to do some more and put in the lifters and the push rods and adjust the preload, and I think I'll wait till tomorrow to put the intake on when Mike is here. He's supposed to be coming over to help me put the tilt hood hinge on the 55 F100. So I'll get some more video when we get to that. Try to get some of this being finished up, and I'll do some video on the 55. I know there's a lot of projects I got to work on, but I can only do one thing at a time. Richard's coming over Saturday. We're going to try to put an engine in that 37 rat rod, engine and transmission, so stay tuned for that. Well, it's been about a week since I've been working on this thing, and I've been working on that F100 with Mike, and it's time to get back to this. So I Mike helped me put the intake manifold back on yesterday, and then I set all the valves, and now I'm just going to finish putting it together and see if I can make it run. You can see the timing marks down here where I highlighted them with some white out, and to set the valves I made this thing here, which I taped to the front fully, so the number 1 was pointing right at the pointer, and then when it was, I set the number 1 valves, then rotated the crankshaft till the number 2 was lined up, and then I think 5 was the next one in the firing order, and then it rotated another quarter of a turn, and I think that was number 2, and so on until I made 2 full rotations, because there's 8 cylinders, and when one is on the compression stroke, the other one's on the exhaust stroke. So we get those all set, put them down to 0 lash plus a half a turn. Now I looked on the internet to find out what was the correct term, because it said in here, it said a quarter of a turn, and I thought that didn't sound right, so I went on the internet and I got 3 different answers, and none of them were the same as the book. The people on the internet, one of them said half a turn, another guy said 3/4 of a turn, and another guy said 1 full turn on preload, but I went with half a turn. I figure somewhere in between what the minimum and maximum. So I hope it runs good anyway. The next thing to do, I guess, is to get the distributor in there and get it lined up right with the number 1 cylinder. So according to the book, the number 1 cylinder is right there to the right side of the clip. See, there's 2 clips to hold the distributor cap on. So since the distributor goes in this way, this is the clip on the back, and you see where I marked where the number 1 position is. So when I drop that down in that hole, that thing, the rotor has to be pointing at that white mark. So let's see if that works. Oh, and the thing is, see these gears, they mesh with the cam gears on this side. So I've got to get those to go in right and still be pointing where I want it to. Well, that was easier than I thought, because there's a hex-shaped shaft that goes to the oil pump. And this has got 8 positions, but the shaft has 6 positions, so it doesn't always line up right. But this time it just fell into place. Otherwise, I'd have to get in there and turn that hex a little bit one way or the other. But it worked out just fine. Alright, so now I got to set the timing without using a timing light. So here's what I got. It's supposed to fire at 8 degrees before top dead center. So you can see there's the 0. That's before top dead center. There's 10, so the line before that is 8. So I got it set to go at 8 before top dead center. Got my ohm meter set for ohms. That's what this horseshoe shaped thing is. That's the ohms, which is resistance. Now when you have no resistance at all, it goes to 0. In other words, it's somewhere near there, a direct connection anyway. There it is, 0. So what I want to do, since this thing turns counterclockwise, I want to come clockwise until the point's closed at the number 1. Well, there it is, 0. See, if I go back a little bit, it's gone. Is it? It's supposed to be. There we go. But as I gently, there we go. The points have closed, and number 1 cylinder is firing, and it's at 8 before top dead center. So now it should fire right up. Okay, so the distributor's tightened down, the cap is on, and I gotta hook the wires up now. In order to not have to trace the firing order, I put these in the correct order. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's how they go on. 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the spark plugs. So I don't have to see, let's see, that's number 1 there, and we'll follow it back to here. It's already all laid out. Like I said, this is number 1. What's it doing back there? Oh, this is number 1. Okay, so that comes out front. That's the number 1 cylinder. So that's how I hook those up. Okay, it's all assembled and ready to start. I got the keys, the Mustang. That's how I know it's the right keys. And since it's been a while since it's been run, I think I'll give it a little bit of gas just to fire it the first time. See what happens. Well, that sounded pretty good. It just needs a little time to pump up some gas from the tank to the carburetor. We'll give it another juicing. And fire it one more time. I know the belt was kind of squealing there. Seems tight. Maybe it's because of that damn tape I put on there. I'll worry about that later. Why isn't it sucking gas up from the tank? Maybe it needs one more. If that doesn't work, my next step is, let me see, where did it go? I got this thing here. I fill it up with gas and then dump it down into the carburetor. That way I can fill the carburetor, it'll keep running. Meanwhile, let's see if it'll start. Well, okay, it's going to take a while to get gas up from the tank to the carburetor. I'm going to fill the carburetor with that turkey baster. All right, that's 3 times. Should be enough. I need to clean up this mess in case it backfires. I don't want a big fire, just a little manageable fire would be alright, but no. A little prime, and away we go. You ready? Wonder what that noise was. It sounded like I threw a belt. The belt's still there. And I think I see a puddle. Oh, I don't think I tightened up the gas. That may be the problem. There's my 1/2 inch. Or is it 9/16? I had the right one the first time. Oh, yeah, that's got a ways to go. That means the gas is coming up from the tank, though. There's a puddle here. But now I can't afford to backfire. The whole engine will be up in flames. I'm not even close to the hose. There. Get rid of that. We'll soak up the puddle. Yeah, the cop radiator had something to say about the situation. Now it should run fine. No more funny noises. Too far. Well, anyway, you get the idea. It actually runs. So that's it for now. Okay, I figured out the source of the noise. You can see the tabs are bent here on my alternator. When I was tightening the screw on the radiator hose, I shoved my flashlight down in there and I forgot to take it back out. And when the engine started, it caught in there, started squealing the belt, and then it finally crushed it and bent the fins all out of shape. So I gotta see if I can straighten that out and then take it for a ride. And tonight's the last cruise night of the car club, so I finally been all summer. I've had it apart, putting in piston rings and then putting in a cam. So this will be its first trip, and its last trip, I guess, if it's the last cruise night. At least it's the last trip I'll make over to the cruise night in Bridgeton. So anyways, I need people to subscribe to this channel because I got 395 subscribers, and I need 1,000 before they'll start sending me money from YouTube. And I need 1 million before I can become a millionaire on YouTube. And I want to be a YouTube millionaire. Who doesn't? So please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next project. Okay, the air filter's on now. It's all finally complete. Gotta go buy a new flashlight, but other than that, it looks like it's pretty good. I'm gonna take it for a test drive, and then I'm gonna have to wash it because it hasn't been washed all year either, and kind of dusty on top. So she's got to go for a good cleaning and a good cruise. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot. This TB Zinc Plus from Lucas brake-in oil. If I had put this into with the last cam, I might not be having all this problem. It might have lasted a little longer, so I'm hoping this cam lasts a while. So I'm going to put this brake-in additive in there. Then I'm going to take it for a cruise, and then I'm going to wash it. I'm going to drive it dirty just the way it is.